Blessings and welcome. I am Tuesday May Thomas, and this is your weekly tarot energy forecast for March 29th through April 9th of 2019. How are you, beautiful community? Thank you so much. Some of you have reached out via email and have checked in because you have not received your monthly love letter yet. I have had a few setbacks this month in March, and so yes, our love letter will be going out a little later than usual. It'll be going out by this weekend. Thank you all of your love and your support and just checking in with me to see how things are going. I'm so very grateful. Thank you everyone as well, all the new subscribers. I'm so very grateful, and everyone for joining me on my weekly live stream 4D Trinity. Every Thursday morning at 11 a.m. I go live here at YouTube and also in Instagram land. So if you're on Instagram, my link is down below. Check out my page. If you resonate, follow there as well. You can watch on Insta or on YouTube. And every week we discuss metaphysics, multidimensionality, spiritual growth, sovereignty, everything that has to do with your growth, your passage and understanding about healing your life multidimensionally, enlightenment, meditation, all sorts of juicy multidimensional aspects of your being is what we cover. And as you know, once a month on my show 4D Trinity, we do a Q&A live, Ask Me Anything, and that is just really becoming more and more fun every week. So thank you again for hopping on and for contributing your questions, your participation, and just your comments and your love. You being a subscriber here is just such a juicy thing, so thank you. If you want more from me, go to my website, tuesdaymaythomas.com. It is there you can subscribe on the first page of my website for my monthly love letter. I send that out once a month, and it includes a blog and generally some kind of a worksheet or an affirmation sheet, something special for my subscribers, plus information about my books and other teachings. So thank you so much, everyone. All of my links to my books and everything is down below. We are going to get right into it. We start with an oracle card from the Voyager deck by James Wanless. So let's take a moment, take a breath. And we call in our angels, we call in our guides, we call in all of those love and light beings who support us, who hold space for us. Now, we already had a popper here fly out. We thank you, our animal spirit totems. We thank you, all of those light beings who love us. I sign myself into the keynote of everybody guided to watch this show, that we all receive what we need from it. We receive a divine glimmer, a guidance, a huge big chunk of information and divine guidance to take us on our way on this path from this space and time of March 29th through April 9th of 2019. Now, what did we get? Didn't I just say synthesis, or did I not? I don't know if I did. Did I? Because honestly, this is my second take. I started recording this, and then I had to restart. In one of them, if not this one, I had just said synthesis. So this is amazing. Okay, 8 of Crystals. Let's get the little book. Here it is. If you're interested, James Wanless, Voyager Tarot. 8 of Crystals. Okay, we're going to look this up, and I'm going to hold this card up for you to look at while I read. I'll do my best to hold it still, but I can't promise, honestly. 8 of Crystals. The multifaceted nature of the crystal symbolizes the versatility of your mind. Like the integrated structure of the crystal, you are able to synthesize diverse ideas and mental qualities. The center crystal represents the corpus callosum. Oh my gosh, the brain tissue that connects your right brain, creativity, organic-looking crystals, and left brain, reason, cut diamond, and calculator. Be both artistic and scientific, poetic and logical. You are endowed with mental harmony, balance, and evenness. This is very powerful, very beautiful. And if you are a regular here with me, then you know that this morning's 4DT, the 4D Trinity show that we did together today, and today is March 28th of 2019, that it was called Frontal Lobe Blackout. And it was all about the brain and mapping new synaptic pathways and how that is reflected in the grids and how that's reflected in our biochemistry and how that, creates these correct conditions for massive enlightenment, massive shifts of your experience of space and time. So we are on the brain, baby. We got the brain grids going on. We're going to get right into shuffling the Osho Zen These are the Osho Zen Tarot. I've been working with them for so long, and I'm so grateful for all that we share. So again, let's take another breath, and we'll drop in. And again, thanking our angels, our guides, all those light beings who love us. We are so very grateful. We are so very grateful for all the ways that you hold space for us, for our healing, for our perfect path, our perfect joy, and all the divine messages that you channel through. I sign myself into the keynote of everyone guided to watch this show. Again, may all the messages I share truly serve spiritual growth and sovereignty of every single person guided to watch. Now, we just had a chunk fall out, so we're going to start here. Oh, wow, right out of the gate, we have the source. Pow. This is a big one. This is a big one. And remember last week we had take a risk. That was our theme. Okay, after source, we have clinging to the past, slowing down. Can we please slow down? I feel like this Mercury retrograde has been so much work that I'm actually excited for the shadow of the Mercury retrograde, so I can keep slowing down. I feel like I haven't slowed down enough just yet, you know. So now we have trust as well, and then we have the burden. This one, it's been a while since the burden has come up, but it has definitely been a time for clearing, purging, and cleansing, projections, and understanding. So let's just take a moment, and we're going to hold here before we pull more cards, because I feel that in the light of the synthesis card, and with everything else, there's enough here to just pause and take a moment. So in pausing and taking a moment, and in that being the general theme of what these Mercury retrogrades are all about. And now at this point, right, we've come out of it. It is it's supposed to have, I believe, I always say I'm not an astrologer, but I wish I was, right? I kind of pretend like I am sometimes. But I believe that this Mercury retrograde the retrograde has officially stopped on the 27th, yet it is stationed now. And now we have that shadow period that goes on, right? So we're still in the wings of this reflecting. If you have not taken the time again to rest, to reflect, to really, remember last week taking the risk to really look under those edges of the carpet into what those deeper substrata aspects of you that are ready to be healed, ready to be seen by you, ready to be brought to the light, so that your spiritual growth can become you, can abide in you, can show you a miraculous new version of you. It feels like we're not done yet. And personally how I feel is that I'm doing a huge timeline jump. And I feel that I have taken the leap, but you know, like in the movie The Matrix, where Neo, you know, when they go in and he does the first jump from one building to the other building, and the drop is like hundreds or thousands of feet down, and he misses the first jump, and they're like wondering, is he really the one? And then one of the guys says, well, no one ever makes the first jump, you know. But I feel like I'm in midair. I've just jumped from one timeline, and I'm on my way to land at that other timeline, but I'm not there yet. And maybe you feel the same way. Maybe you have been working. Maybe you have been in a stage of healing, of purging, of clarifying, and working out some deeper aspects. And these deep aspects, they are deep. They go back lifetimes, if you allow them, if that resonates with you. And they're in the tissues of our bodies. And I'm very excited. Next week's 4DT, I'm going to be, our theme is sickness and spirituality. There's going to be some really interesting metaphysical messages in there for you. So if that's something that interests you or that resonates, do make sure you check it out. And this is what this speaks to, this burden, right? And this clinging to the past. And we know here that the past is not real. The future is not real. The only thing that is truly real is the now moment, is what exists in the now. And the burden, what happens is when we don't clear out the past from the body, from the cells, from the tissues, through our detoxing, through our prayers, through our you know, the usual, the writing the energy letters, the calling people up and asking forgiveness or telling them you forgive them, or however it shows up for you. If that work is not done on a consistent level, and especially when the vortex is open, such as retrograde, such as when you just know for you that it's time to heal that aspect once and for all, or to, as the little angel cards have been telling me this week, just wave the white flag with someone that you've had issues with for, you know, your whole life, and there's this this push-pull. It's like, just lay it down. Just stop. You know, just wave the white flag and just get out of the way and allow that healing to happen. Stop clinging to the past. Stop, you know, that continual repetition of projecting the pain, the child, the bullied, the victim, the child that you were in the past into the future. Neither of them exist. What exists is the now, and we deplete our now moment potency, potential, and power by clinging to the past. We block the gift. Here's the Holy Grail, that beautiful vessel. We block that by keeping our focus emotionally attached into the past, and by rerunning those patterns, right? We automatically set up the correct conditions to create that, to manifest that in the said future. Meanwhile, the now is just sitting here waiting for us to just for our attention and awareness so that it can gift us the blessings and the miracles that only happen in the now. But as long as we're in that past, we're not going to see the gift of that Holy Grail that universe is just saying, like, here, kid, here's your, take a sip. We got the good juice here. We got the miracle water. We got the miracle juice here. And you're like, I'm still, you're still, wallowing is a deep word. And you may not even feel like you're wallowing, yet when you're not running on all cylinders. When something is distracting you. You know enough. If you're watching the show, you've done enough spiritual work, you're paying attention, you're at least with that intention to pay enough attention to honor yourself, to know thyself divine, and to do the work. And we're still in that working period. Because remember, the theme from last week, and I'll come back and I'll put links up there, is it was the take of the risk. And the bigger risk was to remain that version of yourself from before who carries the burden of the past with them. That's the bigger risk than showing up and taking the risk of being free of that and being like, here I am, zeroed out, clear point, still point, white light, full of love. What do we do? Here we go. I'm here. I've arrived. Here's my gift. Here's my song. Here's my presentation. Here's my audition. Here's my plan. Here's my thing. Here I am. And which version of you is going to show up? The version that is still stuck in the past, that has that vibratory activation, that vibratory sequence and signature, right, in their aura, in their sub-level of their being. And that saying or that idea that even if you're smiling and you have all your makeup, or you're a dude and you've got your sharp suit on and your shoes are all shined and stuff, but if there's the ticker tape in your subconscious and that subliminal that says, I'm not worthy, or I don't want to be alive, or whatever the thing is in there, you can give the most smashing audition, you can give the most wonderful presentation, you can sing your little heart out, or whatever the gig is. Next, and they'll, it won't click. Now, if it's supposed to click, obviously it will. Yet, do you understand the metaphor that I'm talking about? And this, so right out of the gate with the synthesis, is saying this synthesis, this, for your ability to be the corpus callosum, like that card was saying, is the connector in the center of the brain that connects the left and the right hemispheres. And so in healing your past, your future is healed. And when those aspects are allowed to be, then that center connector, that corpus callosum, is lit up, and that's your now moment. That's you residing in that 0 point, in that center, right? We move from the binary into the trinary. And so it's still up. And like I was saying, I'm like halfway. I've jumped from one building to the other, and I haven't landed yet, though. I haven't landed yet. And so, have you landed? Are you in midair? I know I'm still working out some residual stuff, and I'm glad to be in the air. I'm glad to not have fully, boom, landed yet with the stuff, because I'm letting it go. As I'm in midair, I'm just like, take it, God, take it, Holy Spirit. I release it, I bless it, I thank it, and I see it. And now I let go. And now I let go and I let love. And so that's what you're invited to do. And it does require this slowing down. And I know if you feel that I feel like all of March has just kicked my ass. How do you feel? I feel like it's been so much work just to get through this, emotionally, physically, for me personally, and in honoring what I've been guided to do in my life with regard to my own creative projects and where I'm moving my life. It's taken a lot of courage. It takes courage. It takes willpower. It takes your presence, your ability to say yes to that divine nudge, to that divine guidance that's there pushing you along. We get to say yes so that we can learn how to be carried. Yet there's that interesting point in between where we're still carrying the baggage. And so even though we're being carried, or universe, God, source, love, light is offering to carry us, as long as we're still that person on the bottom, we've given our staff of power away, and that past energy, those past patterns, or that person that we really need to just say namaste later to in our lives, they're still leading the way for us, and it's exhausting. So I don't know where you're at. Maybe you've been bubbly, full of energy. For me, I feel like, you know what I feel like? I used to train with this guy, Matt. I love you, Matt. He's the badass. He taught me how to squat at the gym. We used to do trades. He would squat me out, and then I would yoga him back at Gold's Gym years ago in downtown LA. And he's a MMA. He's an MMA like super champion. He's won so many belts and everything, and now he trains other guys to do all that stuff. Well, I remember seeing him over the years just doing all these crazy things to train, right? And one of his things is getting in a wetsuit and boxing with that, with the restraint and the constraint of the wetsuit, and having to like train his muscles to like really hit or to kick or whatever all his little jabs and jibes were, with the restraint of that wetsuit on. He didn't have the full poof ability to knock it out and to be all martial artsy. He had to really work through that with the wetsuit on. And so anyway, that's how I feel that my whole month of March has been. I feel like I've been actually wearing probably like 2 or 3 wetsuits and just like trying to, and it has been a trying, right? That it's, yes, I'm showing up and doing the work, but it's been trying. It's been challenging. It's taken everything that I've had. It's taken me giving away everything that I thought I had. And off come the wetsuits. And anyway, so he would take the wetsuit off, and then he'd get back to his training, and his like swipes and his hits and his kicks would be like, whoa, like double, triple speed, because he'd conditioned his body to work through that toughness. So know that if you feel like me and you've been just like just being like kicked around, and I mean that in the most light way, but there's just growing pains. There's arcs. We go through these learning curves of just like healing and toughening up in a way, and I mean that in the highest light, where healing, it's not all running through, valleys of lavender fields. It's like you bump your knee, you scrape, or you really, fuck some shit up. You get some vertebrae out of alignment or something, or get back into alignment. It's all that. It can be. It doesn't have to be all that stuff. But ultimately, it's like that idea of the coal being refined to the diamond. And that's what it is. And it's like, and I don't really like that saying, but it's like, and I really don't like this saying, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to put it in a bubble of light. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And it's not really my words how I would like to convey that idea, yet the metaphor is resonant in that you've been in that wetsuit and you've been training, honey. And I've been training right there with you. And it's like the wetsuit is still on. And we haven't landed on the other side yet of that new timeline. We've taken the leap, we've taken the risk, like remember last week's tarot, but it's like we still got the wetsuit on. It's still exhausting because there's still these parts that need to be let go. And it's like, and universe is saying, okay, look, you've been doing this all month. We're at the end of March. Slow down. Slow down during the last shadow part of this retrograde. Slow down. And so even though you still might feel like you have that wetsuit on, you're still training, you're still sweeping under the rug, you're still healing, you're doing your work, you're like exhausted, know that this is the training that is ultimately raising your vibration. This is ultimately what is turning the lump of coal that we are into that shining, clear diamond. Diamond, third eye, diamond, heart, just clear as a bell, clear and in tune with source, with love, with light, with God, with whatever name you give it, and clear enough to have the ability to move in the name of God's will, to let God's will move through you. That's powerful. That is so powerful. So, slow down. Let yourself take care of yourself, especially if it's been like me and last month has been a lot of taking care of physical ailment aspects. Let yourself continue to nurture and take care of yourself so that whatever the ailment is can have its graceful completion through you. so that you can complete and have a proper closure, and that ailment or that illness or that this cycle can really find its ending so that the new can find its beginning. So you have permission to slow down. You have permission to take naps, to go to the park. You know, there's one woman that I work with, and she, is just longing to take a book and sit under a tree with a blanket, and she works a lot. And, we just have to give ourselves permission to do that. I can tell her, like, you have permission to go to the park as your Reiki, facilitator. I can tell you that. Yet no matter how many people tell you what you can and cannot do, or, what's good for you, you have to do it for yourself. So where in your life this week, March 29th through April 9th, can you slow down, take a bath, or go to the spa for a day? Oh my God, like I remember there's this Korean spa in LA, and it's only $15. And you can hang out there all day and do like cold, hot. If you want more, you can pay more and do massage. They have a great kitchen. There's different areas you can lay and steam and sauna. And like one of those days I would love, And these things can be accessible. They don't have to be really expensive. So there's ways that you can take care of yourself. What is it for you? And all in alignment with the finality of healing these aspects that are up for healing, that you know it's time to let go of. Pardon me. Because what is there? There is this understanding, and we know this card from before. This is an emotional healing. This is you getting your wings. But you know what? We give ourselves our wings. You know that saying like, oh, an angel just got their wings. Well, it's not on accident that you get your wings. You, just the same as you grow into your crown chakra, right? Through your good deeds and your prayerful attitude and your impeccability and your allowing God realization, that higher level of consciousness, to be imbibed and imbued through you, through placing yourself and creating the correct conditions for it to be so. The same way is true for the angel receiving their wings. It's not just an accident, right? There's that lump of coal being ground down and, hammered till it becomes that diamond. And the diamond does not become a diamond on accident, right? It's on purpose that piece of coal becomes a diamond. And it's on purpose, if you're ready to receive your wings, that you will create the correct conditions for it to be so. Your wings are ready for you, yet you get to align your energy and create the correct conditions so that your wings can naturally sprout. It's very, very powerful because you're ready. You're ready. You are so ready. Look at this. This is the mystic gift of trust. This is you taking that leap. Okay, oh my gosh, this is us. You're right there with me. We've jumped, like Neo. We've jumped from one building. And we're in midair. We're in midair. And honestly, I feel that we'll be given the opportunity, maybe for some of us, maybe not all of us, but to land, to touch down next Thursday. And I know the next reading we're doing isn't until after that. This goes until the 9th. But I feel that next Thursday, when I do the 4D Trinity online, that's a new moon. For me personally, I feel that I will be touching down right around then. If it's different, it's different. But from now, from right now, that's the guidance I get. So maybe you feel the same way. So we're in midair. We are dematerializing and rematerializing. We're shape-shifting. There's things that we're releasing. There's things that are being asked for our release, asked for our healing, asked for our attention. And so let us place it there so that this healing can happen, so that those wings can manifest of their own accord under grace and really be added unto you by way of vibration, by the vibration power that you naturally inhabit and are. Now this is interesting where we're going next, because we have projections, and this is another card of the emotions. This is a man and a woman talking to each other, and look at their energy is saying one thing and their physical bodies are saying another. At this miraculous time of healing and of growth and of synthesis, allowing a mindfulness, a masterly mindfulness, to be present, whereby your thoughts and your words match. Your thoughts and your words match. Be mindful of those projections that you send out ahead of yourself towards other people, because you're really creating those conditions to become manifest. And so if you're not seeking for something to be manifest, then don't project it. Don't project it. Curtail that. Train yourself. You don't have to see anything, but, you can see it all working out. Yet, I think what even going deeper is just allowing, and even asking the question, what's the best thing that can happen? So anytime you are tempted, or you have that urge, or that pattern is there whereby you want to project, upon a person, a place, a situation, before you even have any of the details or any of the information down, it just might be a part of your pattern to project. Universe is saying that is not allowing that divine corpus callosum, that divine unity of both halves, of the male and the female of yourself, of the divine unity of all parts, to meet in that 0 point of the heart, to meet in that divine sacred space. It is dirtying the filters, instead of just allowing those filters to be clean and clear and pure, and allowing light to shine and to show what it's supposed to show in the name of love, in the name of light. To allow, that's the proper synthesis, is when we get out of the way. And so moving your judgments, moving your projections that you have about people, places, and things. And yes, you can reinstate new affirmations, but again, I think that the even higher guidance, if you are guided to take it, is to just place nothing there, or if anything, love or light, and ask the question, what's the best thing that can happen with this situation? And the universe will always show you. And this is just so exciting. So even though this was the first card out of the gate, I know it's the last one I'm getting to. The source. I mean, this is it. This is welcome home. This is welcome home, baby. This is your third chakra. And this is also, God. It's the source. It's the source. And that's, right? That's right here. Wait, can I get it centered? There it goes, somewhere right around there. It's so funny, I can't, isn't that brain thing again? It's like trying to get it in the mirror, in the recording, on the computer. Boom, boom, boom. Matching them all up. That's you at your truth. That's you having slowed down, trusting the mystic gift of trust, and that's also you, getting out of the way so that divine synthesis can happen. It's you not projecting. It's you creating the correct conditions so that those wings can appear, carrying you from one building to the next, from one timeline to the next, from a place of wholeness, from a place of unity versus separation, from a place of allowing and being carried rather than forcing and pushing. So synthesis and source, we ask for greater clarity. Divine Osho Zen, what is your clarification? Oh, okay, we're supposed to work with these. What is your divine clarification for the source card with regard to synthesis? We're so very grateful. All of your divine guidance, split them in half and use these, okay? Suppression. Celebration. Isn't that funny? Two sides of the same coin change. We know that. The Fool. Playfulness. Oh my gosh. Schizophrenia. Aloneness, right? Only you can do it for yourself, the Hermit. And past lives. Remember last week, the past life panel, our past life crew, keeping an eye on me and you. So let's see what's going on here. So with regard to source and synthesis, again, there's this aspect of, if we're not taking care of those aspects that at this point you know what they are, that they are ready for healing, they're ready for your attention, not just to keep being swept under the rug. But look at the individual, they're half here and half there, and that's what we were talking about earlier, that sense of being in the past and the future and not in the now. You're so in the mind that you're not in the present moment, and you're suspended. And because there's so much mind going on, there's very little grounding, and so there's this sense of schizophrenia, there's a sense of needing to hold on because your mind is taking you on a ride. And ultimately, when you're thinking that much, the real true feelings that are the stuff that require healing, is the stuff that needs purging and releasing, is not allowed to, because the clouds of the mind are given the right of way. And any anger, jealousy, greed, betrayal, whatever, the grief, sorrow, whatever the stuff is in there that's just needs to be cried out or healed out or grounded out or whatever it is for you, it's not given the right of way, and so it creates the suppression of that stuff. And so again, slowing down and really giving back to yourself, being gentle with yourself, only you can do it. Only you can do it for yourself. So yes, go to a healer. Yes, go get a massage. Yes, do it all. Let your lover make you juice or whatever it is, Yet ultimately, again, it's your decision. It's your choice to let it go. That opens the floodway, that creates the right conditions for your wings, that is that mystic, gift of trust that's going to carry you, that's going to cross the hemispheres of the brain so that you can see. What does Drunvalo say about that? He says that that's the enlightenment, that when that corpus callosum is given the right of way, when we cultivate our practice of meditation, and we say here always meditate, 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 meditate. When you practice your meditation, excuse me, you create the correct conditions for those hemispheres to be bridged. And when those hemispheres are bridged, it is so much easier to be in the world and not of it. It is so much easier to be at peace and to begin to tip the scales in way of heaven on earth realization versus I'm a victim of this world, I'm unsafe, and I'm afraid to be here. Because where we're going is this massive change. And isn't it interesting, the change and the source, right? And this change speaks to this healing. And again, it speaks to last week of taking that risk, but it also speaks to, remember it's been a while, but we've talked about the Rubik's cubing of the universe, of the cycles, of all the cycles, and how there's larger cycles, whether you think in terms of astrology or the Mayan calendar or the Gregorian calendar or the moon cycles. There's all these cycles, and there's cycles of your life within those cycles, and they're all clicking in different ways and at different times and spaces. Yet there's times when when certain aspects of those cycles click in and they all align, like when the planets align like that, and that's what we're coming into. And when those planets align, you bet you want to have your closet cleared out. You bet you want to do, or at least have sincerely moved in that direction of healing your life so that you can be carried to the next shore, so that what life brings to you is in attunement and in alignment with you being your most authentic, integral, impeccable self. Because if not, you're going to keep getting served the same old story, the same old stuff. Meanwhile, the Holy Grail, all that divine gifts, that juicy miracle stuff is right there. But if you're not preparing your vessel, if you're not prepared to be carried by change, you will be dragged. We know that that's just how it goes. And what's here on the bottom, these are your people. Your people are like, come on, like all your angels, your past life, people that are here, that are watching you, that are supporting you. They're like, go, 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 like they're all just like cheering you on and holding space for you. So you have support. You energetically have support. Your job to get to this point where we've landed on that other side, and we are partying because we have healed those emotional waters. We are in that divine feminine where we've learned to allow, we've learned to receive, we've learned to heal, and sometimes it takes some of that masculine energy, that drive, that courage, that fierceness to get in there and face the shadow, to face the tars. I know all about that. I'm sure you do too. But then there's a point where you get through it and you're just like, I don't have to hold up all those heavy shields anymore. I don't have to like duke it out. I've faced the shadow, I've integrated it, or at least I'm learning. I've gone through that first corner, and now I can lay that stuff down, and I've cried enough tears, and now I can let myself be purified. I can kick off my shoes and get grounded with Mama Earth and just dance and feel in this body and just feel this new energy moving around inside of me. And it is a dance. It is a dance that brings you back to the full, back to the 0 point, back to playfulness where you're light. You don't have it all figured out. You are just being divinely guided by Source. You are not projecting into the past. You are not carrying the past into the future. You're not holding tight to expectations of the future. You are just holding lightly, and creating the continual correct conditions to be at one with Source. That you land lightly. That you are, you've had that, the balls, the courage to to take that risk, to take that jump, and you're like in midair and you're still like peeling off the layers, like I was saying, like healing, doing with the last bits of stuff here while we're in this shadow of retrograde, and then you're coming in for the landing, and it's like instead of like boom, boom, brrr, like a stunt person rolling and landing and like poof, it's like you see the other building or that new timeline, and you're like, and here it comes, and then all of a sudden, there's your wings. There's your wings, and the hand of God, if you will, you can call it whatever you want, comes in and gently, with your wings, but also the hand of God coming in and just carrying you and landing softly on your feet in a whole new you, in a whole new earth experience, in a whole new timeline. We're all your people that have been just as much working on themselves to prepare themselves for their own journeys as you have been, will meet you and will hold the door open for you. And they'll say, welcome, we've been waiting for you. Here's your table, your VIP table. Or your first class, or I don't know, whatever it is for you. But it's all right here. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited for you and for me and for all of us. What a beautiful reading. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm so very grateful. Again, all of my links are down below in the Show More box. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal donation link down below. Check me out on Instagram. Make sure you follow on Instagram if you like what I share there on my feed. And also every Thursday, join me for my live stream, both here at YouTube and at Instagram, 4D Trinity, where we bridge fourth dimensional consciousness through the unity of mind, body, and emotions. I'm so grateful. Check out my books. I have some free books. Join my website. Subscribe at my website for my monthly love letter. Links are down below. I'm so grateful. I thank you, and blessings for a beautiful, beautiful week ahead. Namaste.